Good evening, otherworldlies. How's everyone doing? This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. Hello, hello. Alright, so everybody knows I'm online. I'm answering questions. A lot of them, I'm going to say most of them are anonymous questions. I'm also having people ask me in person these same questions. And they come to me and know that I'm not going to be judgmental about it, and so I'm just going to get right to it. Now, this question is in the neighborhood of people asking, you're in this long-term relationship and things are getting kind of a little complicated, a little heavy, things are maybe your significant other's getting kind of busy, they're studying for exams, they're working a lot, things are going on. Maybe you guys aren't really getting along so well and that sort of thing, and or they really just need to concentrate on something. They really need to think about stuff, and they ask to take a break. Okay, now, and the person who's getting taken a break from is distraught that the person is asking to take a break. Let me tell you what that's all about. First of all, yeah, it's bad news. I'm just going to put it out on the table. This is kind of what that's about. When somebody asks to take a break, just break up with them. Just break up with them. It's really kind of a weak way out. What they're really asking to do is they really just kind of want a hall pass. You guys know what a hall pass is? If you haven't heard that expression, they just kind of want to, they want you to get out of their face so they can go mess around with other people for a little while. And they'll swear up and down that's not what it's about, that they just need to do, they really need to work and they really need to concentrate on all these other things. They really just kind of, they think you're a little bit much and they want you out of their face. But they also want the chance to mess around with other people without it technically being cheating. But they do want the chance to hook up with other people without you, with your foot up their butt, basically. They really want to technically be able to mess around and hook up with other people and be able to say, well, we were on a break. Okay, so that's basically what they're doing. And they'll just say, it just happened, I didn't mean for that to happen, this just sort of, came about. So when they're saying they need to take a break or something like that and they're working really hard, there's probably someone at work they want to hook up with. Okay, I really don't mean to put it like that, but also you have to think, when someone says they need their space, if you're not super clingy or controlling, or you don't want anything that's out of the ordinary, if that person hasn't given you any reason to mistrust them or anything like that, if you're not demanding something that isn't normal or anything, if you're not doing anything really wrong and that person needs their space and they need all this alone time and they're kind of pushing you away and stuff like that, just break up with them. Just break up with you. They're playing a game with you. You need to just let the relationship go. That's what you need to do. They're playing some kind of silly little mind game with you. It does not matter if you love them. You need to just let them go because they're doing something silly. If they're having some kind of personal problem, what they're doing is they're dragging you. Okay, they're playing a silly mind game with you. They're just doing something to you that's not okay. If they're miserable and they're going to be a jerk about it, you refuse to play their little game. You just break up with them. Okay, when people do things like that, that's not okay. They need to handle the business like an adult. When you're in a relationship with someone, you do not run away from them, you run to them. Tell them what the problem is. They don't need to run off by themselves and run away far, far, far from you and be away from you for a long period of time to sort whatever it is. When you're in a relationship with someone, you come together, you discuss the problem, and if they feel the need to get away from you when something's bothering them, you don't belong together. People feeling pushing you away like you're bothersome, they're having a problem so they don't want you around and that kind of thing, they're basically rejecting you and making you feel unloved and unwanted. So it's okay to do things without somebody, and everybody needs their alone time. But if you are actually someone who gives someone a whole lot of alone time and gives someone a whole lot of space, and for some reason they just need more, and they're telling you this and you're not bugging them in the first place, that's really like all kinds of, like, a whole bag of red flags. A whole bag of red flags, and the tip of the red flag, you know, has like a pitchfork in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really need to just see that for, you know, the big flashing dangers, you know, danger, you know, for what that is. It's a big flashing sign. I mean, something is going on there. That person really, either really wants to be single, or they just don't want you. Okay, that person has their eye on someone else or several someone else's, or they really don't feel like they can go the distance with you. And I happen to know this because people come to me online and they ask me, how can I get out of the commitment that I've been in a couple of years, you know, and they'll say, I've been in this commitment for 2 or 3 years, and I really, you know, and it's been a long-term relationship, and it's not that there's anything wrong with that person, but I need to concentrate on school and work, and I'm like, and basically you just don't want to be with that person, you just basically want to be free. And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, you can't come out and say you don't want to be with that person, and I know you're not going to come out and say that. And they're like, no, I really don't want to come out and say that. I go, okay, well, I don't want you to go with the it's not you, it's me nonsense. What you need to do is say, I don't feel like I can be in a relationship. You need to try to be honest. I don't feel like I can be in a relationship. And that might be, I don't feel like I can be in a relationship with you. You don't need to put it that way, but say, I don't feel like I can be in a relationship. Because what this person is going to do is they're going to need to go on a break. What they're going to do is they're going to hook up with this person, that person, and the other. They're going to save you for later. And what they're basically doing is they're like, you're okay to use for whatever resource that you're giving them, but they don't love you enough to stay faithful. They love you enough to use you. You might be marriage material, but they don't love you enough to really be faithful to you, to tell you the truth, and to really stay with you and not be a jerk to you. You know, they need to act right. They need to stop running away from you, and they need to run to you. So you need to just to cut all the games short, and you need to just break up with them. Okay, because they're going to have you crying all the time. They're going to have you emotionally unstable, and they're playing mind games with you. Okay, and what they can't do is be honest with you, and they can't be honest with themselves. And you know, there's no reason they can't go to work, go to school, or do whatever and be in a relationship with you and come to you with their problems. They don't need to run away from you and have all this me time. I mean, if they already don't see you anyway, you know, they need to quit. You know, they either need to break up with you, or they need to try to spend time with you. There's no taking breaks and going off and doing things by themselves when they know they should be spending time with you instead. They either need to pick one or the other. You know what I mean? So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, I'm going to spend as little time as possible with a significant other person until it's time to have sex. And I'm going to lean on them emotionally, but then I'm going to go off and do all this other stuff by myself because I would rather not do it with them. That's basically what they're doing to you. Okay, and I'm going to act so salty towards them and fight with them to make sure they don't want to be around me. And then I'm going to say, I need me time, I need space, we need to take a break, and make them feel like there's something wrong with them. Okay, so that's what the person is actually essentially doing to you. You need to just cut all that short, okay? And ladies, when guys are saying, now, this is how you handle men, you should always give them more space than they need, okay? Because men are hunters, they're pursuers. They need to express an attraction to you before you express an attraction towards them. Men are very visual, so you need to be attractive, and you don't tell them you like them. They're supposed to compliment you. They're supposed to like you. So you wait for them to text first. You don't text them throughout the day. You let them come to you. You give them more space than they actually need. So if they're starting in with this, I need space, or acting like you're clingy and stuff, you're not being clingy at all. So if they start in with that, you know they're full of bull. Okay? You know exactly what that's all about. So when they start acting like that and being silly, that's when you dress up and look extremely cute and start going out and flirting with other people. Because you know that's what that guy is starting to do to you. Do not delude yourself. He's starting to play games with you. So you need to quit being a nice girl, quit giving him the benefit of the doubt, and you go out and you meet somebody else. Is some other guy trying to talk to you? Talk to him back. Other guy smiling at you? Quit being nice, smile back. Someone asked you out, you think he's cool, you vibe with him, go out with him. These guys needing space and doing all this, they are playing a game with you. Okay? They're being salty. Go with a sweet guy. Okay? Seriously, do not put up with that. We only have so many years that we're pretty. We only have so many years that we're fertile. This is a pandemic. Nobody's having fun right now. Try to have a little bit of fun. Okay? I don't know, how many more years we have until we catch some virus and something happens. You need to have a little bit of fun. You don't need to put up with guys acting salty and rude and weird, and you don't have to put up with any man's mess. Okay, and guys, if you have some chick who needs her space and doesn't want you around, okay, go talk to some other chick. Okay? She doesn't want you around, bro. Go talk to somebody else. Seriously. I know somebody thinks you're cute. I know somebody likes you, having you around. Somebody appreciates you. Maybe it's not really, the chick that you initially liked, but somebody likes you, okay? It's probably one of your female friends that you didn't even like, oh, she's okay. Well, she probably likes you, man. And you never thought about it. And you're like, and you're like, I bet there's some girl who's really cool that was always there for me, who was always such a cool friend. Well, her boyfriend's being a total tool. Maybe the two of you should get back together, or get together, you know what I mean? Maybe the two of you should be together. I don't know. But I have people coming to me every day trying to get me to teach them how to get out of their long-term relationship that they've been in, and they're trying to do the old take a break thing because they just really don't want to be in their relationship. And I'm just like, you need to tell them, as much of the truth as you possibly can. But you don't need to do the we need to take a break or I need my space or anything like that, because that is just dirty and wrong. You're just basically trying to tell that person, you're getting on my nerves and I don't want you around. And you're trying to just run away from them and get away from them and treat them like there's something wrong with them, when you just don't want the relationship. And you just secretly want to be single, or you just don't want them. Just, but you still want to use them for sex, and you still want their emotional support. Because you're afraid to be alone, but you really don't want to be with them. That's basically what's up. So, and I know this, and because people talk to me all the time about this, I know exactly what's going on here. So, when somebody is doing this to you, you need to grow a pair and break the relationship off. Because the person, when you start confronting them about this, they're going to get extremely salty with you. Because they're going to realize you know what they're doing to you. Okay? They're going to get really mad. Because they're going to try to accuse you of being controlling. And they're going to go, I just needed some me time. And, well, I wasn't going to really do that anyway. And they're going to say all this kind of stuff to kind of, gaslight you and make you think it's all your imagination, and then they're going to apologize. Okay, that's because they're 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the relationship, and you know it, and so do they. So you need to just sever the relationship. Okay, because they're going to have you crying all the time. They're going to have you questioning your worth. Real talk. Because they're always going to be playing that kind of mind game with you. Okay, so any I need my space, we need to take a break, I need to concentrate on work, I need to concentrate on this, I need to concentrate on that. You can actually be in a relationship and still have a job, still have hobbies, still have a family, because people are in relationships and do those things every single day. And you're in a relationship to help somebody cope with life. That's why you're in the relationship. So when people give you cop-outs like that, it's because they don't want to be with you. Okay? And if somebody wants to be alone that much, they just don't want to be with you. And speaking as somebody on the autism spectrum, we like to be alone a lot. So if I'm seeing something like that, bro, I totally know what I'm talking about. I like to be alone a lot, but even I know that's not normal. So even your autistic partner should not be saying stuff like that to you. They just don't want to be with you. And it's real. I'm just giving it to you straight. So red flags, take a break, just break it off with them. They're probably too big of a pussy to break up with you. I'm just saying it like it is. Just break up with them. Blow their mind. Go, you know what, let's just break up then. And just give them a hug. We'll just break up then. Let's just break up and you go do what you need to do. And then go look really nice and just jump back in. Start dating again. Do whatever you need to do. Start getting in shape. Start dating. Start, think about moving. Think about going back to school. Think about doing whatever you were going to do. Keep yourself busy. Do your hobbies. Do whatever so that person is a non-entity to you. Because you were probably too wrapped up in whatever they were doing anyway, because they were always jerking you around and playing mind games and making you feel like there was something wrong with you. Because you weren't what they wanted. They were probably making you feel less than. Because they were, they were doing, you were getting the sense that they weren't all the way in the relationship. So that's where they can't do that to you anymore if you break up with them. It's the game over. They cannot play the games anymore if you refuse to play the game. Let me say that again. They cannot play the games anymore if you refuse to play the game. Break up with them. It's game over. And you're going to be sad, but all of a sudden it's going to be like, why aren't I having emotional problems anymore? You will grieve the relationship because it's over, but you'll be like, you'll wake up and be like, I'm not having the emotional problems anymore for the first time and since I started seeing this person, because they've been jerking me around this entire time. Whoa! You're not going to have them push you away for no reason, and you're going to just get up and be single or just be like by yourself in your house, and you're going to go to work and just be like and You can still be in touch with them, or you can just not talk to them anymore. Your choice. You know? And they're gonna be able to just do whatever they were gonna do, which is probably hook up with someone else, that person that they had in mind, or, you know, realize that the problem was not you, it was them. Oh my God. Yeah, it wasn't you. It was never you. The problem was never you, hon. It was never you. It wasn't. Yeah, I have news for you. The problem was never you. Not one bit. Trust me. Nope. Remember that one video I did about the drug addict and saying that he kept falling off the wagon because of that relationship he was in? His problem wasn't that previous partner. It was him. Okay? Same deal. This is the same deal. People's problems are their own. They cannot blame the other person. Okay? So, that's what you do. When they start pulling this stuff on you, let's just break up. Because they're using you. Alright? Okay, keywords. Take a break. I need my space. Okay? Me time. Alright? Because that's a bunch of bull. And just make sure you're the kind of woman who gives a guy more than enough space. Because I've always been the kind of woman that does that. And so when guys say stuff like that, I'm like, okay. I know this is with the bullshit. I know about all this. I talk to guys every day, and I know this is the stuff they're pulling. And women pull this stuff on guys too. That's I'm not saying this is just a guy thing. It's primarily a guy thing. But women try to say little things to get out of relationships like this too, and they use these buzzwords, but it's mostly guys coming to me like, I really this, I really that. I go, you really just kind of you want to kind of get away, and I go, you want to kind of sample other vaginas, huh? And he's like, yeah. I go, okay, well, let's kind of do it this way. You say this and you do this, and I go, I know you kind of want to get back with her in the future, huh? And he's like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, okay, this is really how you should handle it. I go, but what you're doing is pretty much on the wrong side, and you should probably do this. And you should say this. And I go, and I'm just letting you know, bro, you don't care about her. So you really need to stop lying to yourself and her. It's not right. It's bad karma. Quit using people. It is going to come back to you. You know, and if you hate yourself, you're going to hate yourself even more for doing this to somebody. But guys do this all the time, because women, a good woman is, and a good man, emotional support, and the sex. Even though he doesn't really want to commit to you, you're still giving him good sex. I'm just saying, and you're still anchoring him down. Even though he does not want the full commitment, you still are a source of security. And you're still probably the best thing that ever happened to him. And you may be the only decent woman he's ever had in his life, and maybe the only decent woman he'll ever have. And he knows it. So he doesn't want to give you up, but he doesn't really want to act right either. So you can't fix him. And guys, you can't fix her. And same-sex partners, you can't fix them either. Nobody can fix anybody. You gotta just, when people are with the bullshit, you gotta just cut them loose. You gotta let them, they're basically trying not to be with you. And it's so painful, but the minute you cut them loose and let them do what they're gonna do, and you don't take them back, okay? You just let them go, and you go find somebody who really does care about you. That's what you deserve. Or you go be single for a while. You're okay by yourself. You just go be single for a while. Think of how strong you are. Think of you were strong enough to let that relationship go. You can do anything, right? Okay, otherworldlies. So believe me, that's what they're doing when they're saying those things. Okay, they don't really want to be with you, and there's other people in the picture most of the time. Not all of the time. They've got someone in mind. There's someone around. Something's going on. But mostly they just don't care. They do not care about you enough. And they're saying little things like that, and they're disregarding you. And you know it. Okay? Alright, I love you guys, otherworldlies. You have a very safe, almost fall. Okay? It's coming soon. It's starting to cool off. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, you guys. I love you all. Good night.